Every year, millions of men are destroyed, not with weapons, with words, with silence, with humiliation. This is the abuse nobody talks about. I know, because I lived it. This documentary is my truth, and the truth of the men I watched disappear. Over 53 million men in the United States alone have experienced psychological abuse by an intimate partner. 1 in 5 men will experience domestic abuse in their lifetime. 99% of men who finally call a helpline are suffering emotional and psychological torture. Not physical, psychological. Family members are among the most common abusers of men, more frequent than strangers. Brothers, sisters, parents, the people who were supposed to protect them. 42% of men have experienced harassment or assault in their lifetime. 24% report harassment in public spaces, streets, stores, workplaces, transport. Over 2 million Americans experience workplace violence or harassment every single year. Men are the least likely to report it because they know what comes next. 67% of men who call a helpline have never told a single person before that call. Not a friend, not a brother, not a doctor. Nobody. Because when a man speaks about his pain, the world laughs. Financial control is one of the most common, but least recognized forms of male abuse. Men are manipulated through money, through debt, through financial dependency. Abusive partners deliberately cut men off from friends and family. Isolated men are 4 times more likely to suffer in silence. Men who report domestic abuse are 3 times less likely to be believed by police. In most countries, zero legal framework protects men from psychological abuse. 75% of all suicide deaths worldwide are male. Men are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women globally. Every 40 seconds, someone dies by suicide worldwide. The majority are men. Men who experience domestic abuse are 3 times more likely to attempt suicide. Depression goes undiagnosed in men for an average of 3 years before any help is sought. In the UK, male suicide is the single biggest killer of men under 45. These are numbers, but behind every number, there is a man who had a name, a man who had a life, a man who tried. This is his story. He was 45 years old, successful, respected, the man his entire family looked up to. He had built something real, a business, a future, a name. But the wrong people made the wrong decision for him. His brother's wife was jealous. She couldn't stand watching him rise. So quietly, she arranged a marriage. Not for him, against him. He didn't know. He trusted his family. That trust destroyed him. After the marriage, everything began to collapse. His wife didn't know how to cook, how to care for a home, how to care for him. Small things, but for a man already carrying the weight of a business, they added up. Slowly his health weakened. Slowly his business followed. The man who once supported his family was now asking them for money. And instead of a hand, they gave him humiliation. His sisters mocked him. His wife mocked him. The man who had once been the strongest in the room became someone people spoke about in whispers and laughed about behind closed doors. He fell into depression, but nobody called it that. They called him weak. They called him a failure. They called him a burden. Then the fears started. He stopped eating, scared the food would run out. He stopped drinking water, scared of the water bill. He stopped watching television, scared of the electricity bill. He stopped shaving. He stopped bathing. The man who was once respected had become someone his own children couldn't recognize. He gave his children away to his sisters, not because he didn't love them, because he loved them too much to let them watch him disappear. His wife, the woman who was supposed to be his partner, began to beat him. A broken man, being beaten, and nobody intervened. Nobody came. One morning he left the house. Before he walked out the door, he told his wife what he was going to do. She said nothing. She did nothing. Before he walked out the door, he knelt down to his 9-year-old son, and he said, "Today I am going to meet my mother. I will go very far today." His son smiled. Children always believe their fathers will come back. He never did. He walked to a small utility store near his home. He bought rat poison. He walked to his sister's house, and there, alone, in the home of the only people he had left, he swallowed it. He ended his own life. Not because he wanted to die, because nobody gave him a reason to stay alive. His sister rushed him to the hospital. The doctors didn't know what he had taken. His wife knew. She said nothing for 8 hours. 8 hours of silence, while a man was dying. When she finally spoke, it was too late. He died. The CCTV camera outside that small utility store told the truth, that everyone around him had refused to tell. He made a decision that no man should ever have to make alone. He chose the only exit he believed was left. In that moment, he had been broken so completely that leaving felt like the only door still open. He didn't want to die. He just couldn't find a single reason left to live. The world had taken everything from him. He gave it the last thing he had. He didn't lose his life. It was taken from him, slowly, silently, by the people closest to him, until one day, there was nothing left to take. Nobody called it murder, but what do you call 8 hours of silence while a man is dying? What do you call years of humiliation, mockery, and isolation inside his own home? What do you call a system that has no shelter for him, no law for him, no helpline he feels safe calling? We have a word for what happened to him. We just haven't had the courage to say it out loud. Until now. He is not the only one. He is one of millions. Share this, so the next man knows someone is listening. You just heard what poverty and humiliation does to a man. Now hear what love does, when it is used as a weapon. Before the next story, the numbers you need to hear. 19-year-old men are among the highest risk group for suicide, caused by relationship abuse. Young men in toxic relationships are 3 times more likely to develop depression than their peers. Emotional blackmail, threatening suicide, threatening to leave, is recognized globally as a form of psychological abuse. Men who experience coercive control in relationships are least likely to recognize it as abuse. In the UK alone, 1.2 million men reported partner abuse in 2024. The average man suffers in silence for 3 years before telling a single person. You said, he was 19 years old. He was 19 years old. Son of a successful businessman, he had everything, except the one thing he wanted most, her. She came from a poor family. He was younger than her. His family fought against it. But he loved her with everything he had. He fought for her. He won. The moment he did, the mask came off. She was never satisfied, never grateful, always demanding more. When he couldn't give enough, she threatened to leave. She locked herself in bathrooms, threatened to end her own life, just to watch him break. And he broke, every time. Standing outside that locked door, crying, begging, a 19-year-old boy on his knees for someone who weaponized his love. Then came the pressure for children, family asking questions, wife threatening, doctors prescribing. He started taking heavy medication, desperate to fix something, desperate to be enough. His body was already exhausted, his mind already shattered. Men who take heavy hormone or fertility medication experience severe depression as a direct side effect. Clomiphene and testosterone-based drugs, commonly prescribed for low sperm count, can cause mood swings, anxiety, and emotional breakdown. Fertility pressure in marriage is one of the leading causes of male depression globally. Studies show men under fertility pressure are significantly less likely to seek mental health support. Physical side effects of heavy fertility medication include internal organ stress, heart weakness, and bleeding disorders. A young body under emotional and chemical stress simultaneously breaks down faster than doctors expect. One day they fought again. She hit him, one elbow, to his stomach. He cried, then seemed okay. He wasn't okay. Inside, he was bleeding. A body already weakened by heavy medication could not survive what a healthy man might have walked away from. 1 week later, fever. Family rushed him to hospital. Doctors found internal bleeding, a wound inside, a heart destroyed by heavy doses of medication he never should have needed. In 2 days, he was gone. He was 19 years old. He died for a love marriage. He died trying to be enough. He died because nobody told him what she was doing to him had a name. It was abuse. He wasn't just broken emotionally. He was broken chemically. Pills meant to fix one problem quietly destroyed everything else. His heart, his body, his will to survive. 2 men, 2 different lives, 1 identical ending. Nobody called it what it was. We just did. If you are a man carrying this pain right now, this documentary was made for you. You are not weak. You are not alone. Someone is listening. Share this, for the men who couldn't speak, and for the ones who still can.